Go back and tell about backsplash. That is not, okay, I can see it a little bit now. That is not white.
Yes, can you hear us?
Hey, how's it going, everybody?
Hey, Antoinette. Hello, Celeste.
Happy Tuesday, happy Tuesday, happy Tuesday.
Hey, can y'all hear us? Oh, hey, dear. Good. Hey, everybody.
How's it going, good people? Family?
I can't see.
Can't see what?
Oh, wait. I can't see if I can't see us. Technology.
That's good. Good to see everybody.
Oh, here it is.
And I ate, got my belly full.
Are we freezing? Are we freezing? We freezing up? No, we always had Spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We can y'all see us? Okay. So we're freezing up a little. So we've had some, getting the cable or the internet up, and the guy's been out here twice or three times.
Yeah.
Because part of it, so it's buffering. Because part of it was because it's a like new construction, the wires, they first had it up on over the ground, and then just a few days ago they put it up under the ground. Been a whole mess, which is why we hadn't really been on.
Yeah.
And so y'all please bear with us.
It's the enemy trying to keep us discouraged or trying to give us a hard time.
Yeah.
Thinking that we're going to quit. Wrong.
Right. We might take a time out. But yeah. Okay. Awesome. All right. We're a little late, so.
Yeah, so let's kick this party off with Terrence and Jill of God-Ordained Union. And for those of you, this is your first time, we're here to do one thing and one thing only, and that is to help increase God-Ordained unions.
Yeah. So y'all know the spiel. Y'all know what a God-Ordained union is. It is one where God puts you together. We all like to believe that the person we marry or we're dating, that God put us together, and that's not necessarily true. God, we have free will, so God allow us to pick who we want, and it doesn't mean that we won't be blessed, but it do mean that maybe the assignment that God has for that union cannot go forth. It could be hindered. So so on this channel we encourage singles, especially older singles, to not settle and to wait for their person. Don't settle. So on this channel, we're not encouraging just marriage. We're encouraging who God has for you. If He can tailor make a baby for you, uniquely make a baby for you, we believe He definitely has the baby daddy or the baby mama specifically tailored. So on this channel, that's our story. We waited, we didn't settle. So those of you, if this is your first time, we were older when,
Yeah.
yeah, I was 52. Came across Terrence's profile on outdated profile on a dating site. I was 48 when I came across his profile. We started talking at the end of my 49th year. We saw each other when I turned 50. We got engaged 6 months into me being 50. No, yeah, 6 months after we met, we got engaged, and we got married 16 months after that. So I was 52 when I walked down the aisle. I had never been married, never had any children. I was always wondering what was wrong with me. I was the only one in my family who didn't have children. Um, and I had never had a proposal. Uh, I was happily single, but I always knew in the back of my mind, I knew in my spirit that I was supposed to be married. And so I never gave up on love. I continued to live, but I never gave up on love. And yeah, when I thought I was living high and living and serving in purpose, God brought this one. So on this channel, that's what we do. We encourage singles. So please subscribe, turn on your notifications. We go live, of course, on Tuesday nights. We have pre-recorded videos that drops twice a week. We have a private group. We do one-on-ones and all that great stuff. So you can find out all of that in the description. Also follow us on IG. We just purchased this house. Those who have been rocking with us for a couple of years, you all know, or they know that so the first year that we got married, we had actually, some of you might not know this, but we had actually pushed our wedding date off, one because of the pandemic, but two because we were planning to purchase a home. And so so we pushed it off, and so we didn't even have a honeymoon because that was the plan, was to purchase a home. So we got married in April, and the plan was to purchase a house that year. And 6 months after we got married, I got laid off from my job. So it delayed the home purchase and all of that, and which also caused us to kind of be set back a little in our finances. And so this blessing of purchasing a home, just when God says suddenly, it's a suddenly situation
For sure.
for sure. And so yeah, here we are. We got our home. So and it's the first of our first home. We're not first time home buyers, neither one of us, but this is our first home together. So yes. So I say that to say follow us on IG, because on IG is where we're talking about trying to make this house a home, from going to purchase furniture, returning stuff, painting, just all kind of stuff, trying to figure out all kind of stuff, our new neighborhood, and getting new neighbors and all of that, and construction still going on right next on in a lot next door to us. So all of that, as much as we can, when we feel like pulling out the camera, we pull out the camera. So all that's on IG. So we're doing Q&A tonight.
Yes, and I was just looking at that question there.
Well, what she said?
She said that her and her fiance
It's been
talked
dating.
about getting married in 2 months. Do you think we should give it more time, even if we feel we're ready?
Oh, that's a guy.
Oh, that's so good.
He
Then
said, I've been dating my fiance 9 months ago. We talked about getting married in 2 months. Do you think we should? Y'all been dating for 9 months.
let me say this. Just there's a difference when it comes to a lack of patience. The older you get, you've been set in your ways longer. So the one thing I can say is the older you get, the harder it is for you to really show some patience. So if you feel like, to me, there's no time frame. You do what
How-
you two feel is right for y'all.
Right.
You do what you feel God is leading you to do. So what I would say is, for any question, whether it's should you wait, should you go ahead and get married, I would say put it in God's hands and say, Lord, what do you have for us? Should we get married now? Should we wait, and allow the Holy Spirit to answer that question for you?
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
that way you know you're doing things in the right order, you're doing things in alignment, you're being obedient, all those things, and what God does, what you say, it works for the good.
Yeah. Yeah. Whatever
So,
you two agree. If
yeah.
you both agree that you should get married in 2 months, yeah. If you don't, then if you think one of you think you should wait a little bit, I will honor that, because that's what happened with us. Terrence was like, we should push it back for because of the pandemic, and so that's what we did, and so yeah.
And in that situation, it worked out great for us.
Yes, yes. For the question of are we cooking something in the background because you see the smoke? That's the oil diffuser. So it's
Yeah.
it's not a pot or anything on the stove. That's an oil diffuser. It's steam. So we good. We good. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Looking out. So we did a video. So if y'all got questions, drop your questions. But we just want to bring this point, a very important point. So we did a video that dropped this past Sunday, and it was talking about going public with your love life, and talking about is it a fear to go public? Is it really private love, or are you afraid to go public with the love? And so this has been a constant conversation throughout social media, and there's a 50-50 of how people feel like how it should go. Thank you, Kingdom Business. But somebody put a comment under that video on Sunday, and we have to talk about this because it's some hidden darkness under this. So the person said, I am not going to tell, I'm paraphrasing it. The person said, I am not going to make my relationship public until after I get married, and something like I'm even going to keep that a secret. They said, because I don't want my toxic family in my business, or I don't want my toxic family to know something about toxic family. And that was the red flag that waved. Not only that, it was so many people who agreed and loved that comment. And so we just want to bring this to the table, because if the person who wrote that comment, and if you feel the same way, if you are wondering why you have not gotten your person yet, the toxic family could be the reason, could be the block. Hey, Wanda, the toxic family could be the block. And the feelings of the toxic family, not even so much the toxic family, but you could be the toxic person in the family. Anytime you're hiding something because of you saying toxicity, that is an indication that you got to do some introspection, that you should probably.
And it also goes into saying it presents the argument that you're also hoarding some type of negative energy towards your family.
Yeah.
Which means it goes out towards everybody else.
Right. And if it's a toxic family, the block could be a lot of things. It could be unforgiveness there. It could be generational patterns, generational curses. And so you think you about to do a shebang, and the joke could be on you, because you wondering why you can't get your person. It could be blocked up just because you could even feel the heart posture when the comment was made. It's like, wow, like they might not know that they could be blocking themselves from their person. And so we were having a conversation over the last couple of days, and we were saying, like, you can't change how your family treats you. You can't change if they decide to not speak to you, you can't. But what you can change is how you respond to that, how you react to that, how you act towards them. And when you totally forgive, there's no your peace, you totally peace about. You can go around them and still speak, whether they speak back, you could still. And so yeah, Terrence was saying what you were saying.
I would say this too, just to flip that coin. Sometimes when people are treating you a certain way, especially family, look, I get it. They're your family. You think everybody think they got some crazy people in their family. But here's what I would say. There's a point where, and I do this every day. I've done it for years. I still do it. I reflect every day on conversations I've had with people, especially if I had a disagreement or an argument with somebody. Now, I don't have a lot of arguments because I don't let a lot of people get to me like that. But when it happens, I do go back and say, what could I have done to change how that turned out? Did I say something wrong? Did I use the wrong tone? Was I being sarcastic and shouldn't have? But my point is, sometimes you need to do some introspection about the people that's treating you a certain way, just to see, be honest with yourself and say, am I contributing to this? Am I giving them a reason to treat me this way? Am I coming across the way I think I'm coming across? Because a lot of times, if you ask people what they think about you, a lot of times it may be very different than the way you think you present yourself to that very particular individual. So there might be some, truth to, if an entire family is treating you a certain way, all of them can't be crazy. You know what I mean? So I'm not saying there's something wrong with you, but I'm saying just take ownership of what you could have contributed to them treating you that way, even if it was a misunderstanding years ago that you never caught on to. But you just do that to make sure you turn over every stone when you're trying to figure out why you haven't met the person God has for you.
Right. And the other thing is that if you're talking to other family members, and sometimes depending on your personality and the type of character you have, sometimes you can be very intimidating. But if a family member is bold enough to say, well, you know what, Jill, and I could use let me use me personally. I was having some issues with a family member, and I remember my sister said, y'all argument is the same thing. You're saying the same thing about her, and she's saying the same thing about you. It's like y'all are saying the same thing. But then I also have family members that said, well, Jill, you were wrong. Like, you were wrong. And so if you have, not everybody has those loved ones who's bold enough to say, you're wrong. But if more than one person is saying the same thing about the other person or about you, you might want to listen up. You may want to listen up, because I can guarantee a lot of times, a lot of our blocks is family related. And let me tell you something. It's so funny, because that same family member, I was 45 years old when I decided to forgive. And I'm going to say that again. When I decided to forgive that person, I went to that person and I said, I forgive you. As soon as I did that, I was 45. 48 is when I came across Terrence. That's when probably a lot of, stuff started to clear in the spirit realm. It started to clear up in my mind and in my actions and in my thoughts and how I approached things and how I responded to things. But that was an unforgiveness or issue I had been dealing with for years and years and years and years. And it stemmed from feeling rejected and feeling abandoned. And this person did this to me, and this person, and so yeah. So that comment, when we read that comment, it was like, oh. So you think you just gonna be happily ever after, and that your knight in shining armor is gonna come, and you holding and hoarding all of this fog. And again, it could be the reason why your knight in shining armor can't even see you, is because you're holding all of this fog. So, hey, Minister Misty. Yeah. Okay. Any drop any questions? I see Wanda on here. Oh my God, Wanda. Just loving watching you all's love story, you and Randy. It's just a beautiful thing to watch.
Yeah. It's you can't help but to be happy when you
Yes.
see two people that are genuinely happy to be with each other.
Yes. It feels good loving somebody and somebody loves you back.
For sure. Yes.
And it's fun. I love that question. You've been dating, and somebody so over on IG, a guy had put this video up, and he basically was saying he was ready to be married. He's ready to come home to his wife. He's ready to this. He's ready to that. He's ready to this. And people comments on there was like, "Oh, that's so sweet. Oh, I'm wishing you the best." And and I put a comment on it. I said, "Well, go get her. Like, go get her. Like, what are you waiting for? Go get your wife, whoever she is or whoever you want her to go get her." And so I didn't know that Christy was saw the same video, and she started cracking up. She was like, "Jill, you are hilarious." Like, cause I'm so like, men, y'all got the upper hand. Go get that woman.
Oh, let me tell you, you know what?
Go get her.
Let me tell you what a coworker, as a matter of fact, I say a coworker, he's also my cousin. But let me tell you what he told me last week. We was talking about people meeting and you know, finding the love of their life and stuff. We just at work at lunch, just chatting about something. And I said, "Well, do you know any brothers that's looking or wanting to be married?" You know, and he's like, "Cuz, what you talking about? Do I know any guys? What's going on?" So I said, "Well, you know, my wife and I have this platform, you know, and it would be great, you know, to meet some guys that are really looking seriously about getting married." He told me, he said, "Cuz, let me tell you something. It might be the name of y'all platform." And I said, "Why you say that?" He said, "Because you said it's God-Ordained." He said, "I know a whole lot of brothers might be interested in getting married, but I don't know if they're going to come up to something that says God-Ordained." I said, "Well, I don't want them anyway."
Exactly.
I said, "I don't need them." I said, "There's a reason why we're doing what we're doing, and it's called what it's called." I said, "But I'm looking for people that ain't afraid of God. I'm looking for people that are afraid of God. I'm looking for people that says they want to do it the right way the first time and do it right." So he was like, "Well, I hear you." He said, "But I keep my ears open." But yeah, you know, it's amazing how many people are finding excuses for not wanting to, you know, participate in their own rescue. And the thing about it is, the people that are coming up, the one thing I can always say is that they're meant to be here.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it's been a minute trying to get the fellas together. And that's not going to be something that's going to happen overnight. But at the same token, it ain't going to be something that we're going to drop the ball on and put it to the back burner. It's something that we're going to keep on scratching at and kicking at and pulling and tugging at. And it's going to happen when it's supposed to happen.
Y'all ready. Y'all know y'all want that woman. Y'all know y'all can't even get to the next level without her. Y'all know y'all feel like it's like I can't get there. That's because you ain't got to help me to help you get there.
And that's something that I think a lot of people don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of people don't understand. Not trying to force people to get married, but saying if you really study the word, you would learn that there's so much you can do by yourself. Then you have to have a helpmate.
You have to have a partner.
The word said it's not good for man to be alone.
Right.
He didn't just out of the blue decide he wanted to do something. There's a purpose behind everything God has created.
Yeah. Keisha Lowe said, how do you keep the unity after there are disagreements? Does one of you quickly apologize or agree to disagree? I'm glad you said that because, first of all, I think each person should apologize for whatever they could, for, and not just saying whatever contributed. Know what you contributed, even if it's the one who shut down, because we're famous for saying "I'm love you from afar." That is nothing but a glorified grudge. And so I would be the first to say I apologize, and I'm learning that now being married. Like, the quickest way to clear the air is to apologize. I apologize. I was wrong for X, Y, and Z. Own and take accountability, because the two of you both did something, contributed something. And so, and this is the thing. Sometimes it depends on the person's character. Sometimes it does not, the other person does not right away want to jump. First of all, let me go back a minute. To me, family is non-negotiable. The same rules don't apply to friends and family. Family is non-negotiable. God birthed you into this family. That means, to me, that's just my opinion, we have a responsibility to resolve conflict in family. Definitely, and friends too. But friends, you can resolve conflict and you can go on about, don't have to ever talk to that person again. Family,
they're gonna be family.
They're gonna be family regardless. And so it's always funny to think that, you're gonna get in somebody's family, you're gonna marry into somebody's family, and you're gonna take your spouse away from their family. No. I mean, the word says you leave your mother and father and you cleave to your wife, but you don't do it in discord. You don't do it in the wrong heart posture. But I would say that I wouldn't say quickly. I would say quickly apologize, but it may take a moment for you to bounce back, and unify and start doing things again. But if you genuinely apologize, wholeheartedly.
And the great thing about that is, when you lay your head down to go to sleep,
a weight lifts.
You can sleep peacefully knowing that you ain't got nothing contaminated in your heart about anybody else, especially the person that you say you're going to love for the rest of your life.
Mm-hmm. And that's the thing about marriage. It is constantly breaking pride, apologizing, not holding grudges.
No, we talk about it all the time. Marriage is not about who is right and who is wrong.
We on the same team.
It's about getting it right.
Yeah.
Which means sometimes she might be right. Sometimes I might be right. Sometimes we both might be wrong. But what we do is we make sure we come together in agreement as quickly as possible. We repent. We ask for forgiveness. We apologize to each other. We apologize to the Lord. And we put our marriage back together. And then we can lay our heads down and go to sleep in peace.
Yeah. When somebody say, I went to a bridal shower last week. On my job. And so they was giving the bride to be some advice. And two of us got married just 4 years ago. So we both were like, we can't give you no marriage advice. We just can't. But so somebody who was, seasoned married, they said, of course, the famous, don't go to bed angry, angry at each other. And there's a couple who works with me who are married. They was like, oh yeah, we do that all the time. They was like, oh yeah, we do that all the time. And it's so funny because, I'm like, whatever makes you sleep at night. Like when we have a disagreement, I can't sleep. I just can't. I can't sleep. Not because I don't want to, it's just because I can't, because it's like I be like brewing. So yeah. But but yeah, marriage is about like breaking pride.
Stroll up for a minute.
Yeah, because
asked
somebody
something about something
said,
biblical.
yeah, that
Is
so
that it?
this
Yeah.
okay, so this person says, when it comes to marriage, should I lower my biblical standards to get a wife? No tattoos and being a virgin seem to be hard to find amongst Christian women, and that the bare minimum to start. That's this personal Chris. That's, to me, that's not a Christ-like criteria. Tattoos and being a virgin. Thank God for Christ that He redeems us all. So you,
Here's what I would say.
we all sinned and fallen short.
Yeah.
We all got a pass. And to count out someone because they have a tattoo or because they're not a virgin is, to me, more religious than it is. Christ didn't say to count those out. Matter of fact, He said those are the ones I be loving them more. So yeah.
I would say don't settle.
Don't settle.
I wouldn't say don't ever lower your standards.
Don't lower your standards, but
I would say don't settle.
Don't settle, but that's not a biblical standard.
Yeah.
That's not a biblical standard. If someone has repented, so if someone has repented and they have a past, but it's depending on how you interpret the word of God.
Yes.
But I guess you're right. In a nutshell, never lower what you believe your standards are.
But that's also why you gotta have a very strong relationship with the Lord, because the Lord knows your heart desires. And sometimes, and we've said this before on numerous occasions, sometimes you haven't found somebody not because you can't, and not because God doesn't have somebody for you. You may not have met the right person because God hadn't introduced you to him yet. He could be protecting you from the people you used to attract that you no longer attract because you're in a different relationship with him now. So sometimes we have to really, like I said, do some introspection to make sure we understand what we're thinking and where we are. See if that's in alignment where God needs us to be at that moment, so we don't falsely think that we're not where we're supposed to be.
Yeah. Thank you, Manoni. Miss you, girl. This person says, I have a desire for marriage and it aligns with what God has for me. Most recently, it feels as though fear has been creeping up about being married. I do pray, but what else can I do to work through this? Either you believe or you don't.
Yeah, that's something that a lot of people don't understand too, is that your choice in what you believe is up to you.
Yeah.
So you can choose to believe something or you can choose not to.
Yeah. She said, do you all do premarital counseling with the pastor? Did we do premarital counseling with the pastor or counselor? Was there a particular counseling program or assessment used? Yes. So we did premarital counseling with Terrence's pastor who married us. And then we did post-marital counseling when I lost my job and I went berserker up in the house. And so we had to get some counseling. We did counseling. And the funny thing about that is that when we did the post-marital counseling, so we picked a counselor who we only had one stipulation, that they were Christian. And so we found this counselor on like one of those sites, like those counseling sites, and great guy, totally opposite for us. The only thing we had in common was that he was Christian, but he was I think he was like a New Yorker and a Hispanic guy, and but he was on point. But he got to the sixth session because we had 10 sessions. Had 10 sessions planned. He got to the sixth session, and I'm still waiting for him to fix us. He got to the sixth session and he prophesied over us and told us, he knew nothing about us. He told us, the Lord showed me that you all will have a marriage ministry. We was like, okay, we have a channel, but fix us. Like, we need to be fixed. And but it was such it was hilarious.
That was an amazing experience.
And then he said, you all have no issues. Not no issues that warrant me to be cussing him out. Let me just be clear.
He was like,
yeah,
you are trying to help her. She's trying to help you. Y'all just love each other.
It was like
somebody got to give. Somebody got to stop trying to give and take.
Yeah, and then we ended that. We didn't even finish the 10 sessions because I was like,
he was like, I ain't got nothing else for y'all.
I ain't got nothing else for y'all. Like, I don't want to keep taking your money. I don't got nothing else. But yeah, we did take.
Yeah, we went. And here's the great thing, though. The great thing is that, and I think it's great, the two of us love counseling. We would go to counseling again just to have the conversation because we like experiences. We like learning stuff that we really don't know, or things that we think we know that we don't. Because the one thing we both agree, and this is a cliche, but y'all have all heard this probably, is you just don't know what you don't know. So we love finding out things that we don't know, that we've either taken for granted or something that we just truly just didn't know about. So going to counseling is an awesome thing for us.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and literally we get a lot of our nuggets probably from married couples in our family. Like, we learn, like, we trying to learn this thing as we go. Like, we still trying to figure this out.
I think one of the biggest positives is if you can find somebody that you know, no matter what, they're going to be upfront with you and tell you the truth. They're going to keep it real, 100, whether it hurts your feelings or not. That's a true person to speak to when you want to know something.
Right.
Because all these yes people and saying stuff, trying not to hurt your feelings, but they're lying because they think they can twist the truth a little bit to soften the blow. A lot of times that don't do anything but hurt you. It just keeps you confused longer.
And you know what I think I'm learning is that at the end of the day, it ain't even about marriage counseling. It's about character. It's about individual counseling. At the end of the day, it's about, I say marriage is the best personal development program ever. It is really about character development in each person. And we come together to bring the drama or the problems or the solutions, however. And so I say that to say, like, a lot of times, like, I'm on I be on the TT and I get a nugget, a spiritual nugget, and it really resonates with me. And that's, I take it, and of course, they're referencing something in the word, and I'm like, wow, then that's what I'm going through. That's what it was. And so it's like a constant learning and how you show up, and and so you're right, Manoni. Like, some people, they have been abused, and it does make you feel like you're not worthy, and just abused in a whole bunch of different ways, verbal abuse. I mean, I was told I was mean. I was told I will never get a man because I was too mean. And I had to listen because I was mean, and I wore it on my face. I had the face like, don't. I remember somebody tried to say something to me on my job. I said, don't you ever disrespect me. Don't you ever approach me on my job. This is my place of work. And I could have said it a softer way.
She could have told me, and I went up there and turned that place inside out.
Way before he came. Way before he came. But yeah.
They must think I'm crazy. What other questions we got?
Oh, thank you, Bonnie. It's funny. I'm taking all of that because I'm telling you, I just was upstairs putting some stuff on my face. My face is broken out so much.
I would just say if you feel that you aren't meeting people because of where you feel your standard is, I would say that means you need to pray, get a stronger relationship with the Lord, fast, so you know that you can hear him clearly, and rest in what he has for you. I mean, I would never, bend what my beliefs are about what my standards are.
Right. Andrea Small says lately she's been attracting married men at church, and she said she does not engage with these men on any level. It's uncomfortable, and I just need to understand why it's happening. I'm not saying that this is, it could, let me say it, I'm trying to say it's the best way. We attract what we carry. And even though you may not physically approach a married man, I want to tread lightly on that one. Just ask the Lord to reveal what's going on. Because that is, yeah. Ask the Lord to search your heart.
Mm-hmm.
This person said it is best to have 2 pastors for premarital counseling. There will be no bias, having only one. Also, you will have 2 pastors praying for you, both of you throughout the counseling sessions, whatever the couple feels is best for them. All right, now that's the way I like keeping it real with me. Hey, Ely. How do you hear God so clearly? He has been silent with me. Fast. Also, praise and worship. The Bible says he inhabits the praise of his people. So when you, Manoni, you said you can't see me being mean. Thank you. The Lord is doing a work on me. I was just meeting somebody yesterday.
Yeah, let me say this too about that. Sometimes when you can't hear God, it ain't that God's left you anywhere. It's actually that God is already taking you a place, and now he's giving you an opportunity to show that you're ready for what you asked for. So don't think that he's abandoned you. He's saying, okay, I got you here. I showed you this. I showed you that. Now I need to know that you're ready to go to where you say you want to go.
Yeah, sometimes when we say we can't hear from God, a lot of times he's talking, but we want to hear what we want to hear. And a lot of times, like my husband said, he's waiting for us to make a faith move, whatever it is. He's giving us instructions already. And because a lot of times people don't realize that a lot of times that God, a lot of things he leaves to us.
You just triggered a thought when you said he leaves it up to us.
It's called
procrastination. He's already put something on your heart, and you know that's what he's told you, but you're procrastinating.
Help me. What does it help me do in a marriage? What does it look like? It looks like whatever it is to get the 2 of you to the next level into the assignment God has for you. Help me could look anything like, being the one who takes care of the household to the one who manages the money. It's the 2 of you working together and you helping him do the assignment God has called the both of you to do together.
Yeah.
Thank you, Catrice. This person says, is it okay? We did a video on this. Is it okay to approach a man? I think he is shy or intimidated by me, but I am also shy. If a man is in your presence, he gonna approach you. If he doesn't know you exist, that's something different. But if he is physically in your presence, if he wants you, that shyness going to go. Terrence said, if y'all know the story, but when I reappeared in his sight on his timeline on Facebook, he said when he went to go DM me, he realized that we had started a conversation that he dropped the ball 11 months prior. He said, oh my gosh, she gonna cuss me out. But he wanted her bad enough that he took the risk. If he wants to get to know you, he will. That shyness goes out the window.
It's called a.
Oh, thank you, Tia.
It's called a fear of loss. If y'all have ever heard that,
fear of missing out, fear of loss.
Yeah.
Yep.
If you've ever heard that term before, you know what I'm talking about.
Oh.
The fear of loss is when the answer is, if I don't reach out to her, then I definitely can't meet her. I definitely can't get her. So I'd rather take the cussing out and still be able to rebound to get her than to not take that chance and then miss the opportunity that God placed before me. That was an easy decision.
Dear, you know our story with this house. We ain't had no chance to set up no registry or nothing. Somebody asked us the other day. Somebody said, don't forget to, put us on the guest list for the housewarming. What housewarming? It took us 3 weeks to move in here. Look, like we ain't got time for nothing. That
y'all
registries.
What y'all don't realize is, in the last 3 weeks or so, when we actually missed going live, it wasn't because we was trying not to go live. It's because these people was messing up our internet. The enemy was trying to keep us from getting in front of y'all. That's all that was.
We trying to move. Listen, we ordering stuff.
We got deliveries today.
We don't know how to do no registry. We didn't even do no registry.
We didn't register when we got married.
When we got married. Yeah, we didn't even do a registry. Like, that's just too much for me to think about. That's just too much on my to-do list. I want to go back. Somebody, Minister Misty said, I didn't have to share that I was mean. I always share that. That's part of the testimony. Right before Terrence came in my life, I tried to be the best auntie, because I am. But I tried to take it to another level. So I had my nephew come to live with me so he can get his life together. And that nephew going to be 40 years old. Let me tell you how good God is. That nephew is going to be 40. That's my oldest nephew. He's going to be 40 years old. But this weekend, we will be traveling to his son's graduation. So, but anyway, me and that nephew, my 40-year-old nephew, well, he wasn't 40 yet, 40 then, but he came to live with me in North Carolina because I wanted him to, it was like, okay, this, come out of the DMV and you can get it on your feet and learn something different, a new culture. So he came to live with me. Y'all, one of my biggest life tests ever. I had never lived with anybody. And he was like a 16-year-old. And he was every bit in his 30s, I think, back then. But when I say he tested my patience, one time we had an argument. And he said, Aunt Jill, you so mean and you so nasty, and that's why nobody gonna marry you. That's why you ain't got no husband now. Cause you so mean. Cause I wouldn't let him drive my BMW. He was drunk. And I wouldn't let and he didn't have a driver's license. And I wouldn't let him drive my BMW. And I said, no, you're not gonna drive. And so he told me off. And I said, because I knew it was a spirit speaking through him, I said, I will be married. In the name of Jesus, the blood of Jesus, I will be married. And I will be in a happy marriage way before Terrence came in. But yeah, the enemy will call out your flaws. And I refuse to bow down to that negative, nasty, because I told him some things. I could have said it in love. But yeah, that's part of the testimony. Question, could you give me some pointers on surrender? I was married and now I'm not. I had to surrender to go to the singles ministry I'm in. I'm enjoying it, but my heart is a wife. You gotta go all in with the Lord.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to go all in. Like your life depends on it. So it goes back to the comment that the young lady had said. You know, she was keeping her love life, her relationship a secret. And when you get to the point where you know God has called you to a thing, whether it's marriage, whether it's whatever it is, you get to the point where whatever it takes, I'm releasing it all. Whatever it takes. At this point, Lord, whatever's in the way, remove it. If I'm in the way, I was at the point, Lord, whoever you said it is, whenever it comes, however it comes, wherever it comes, whenever it comes, I'm all in. No stipulation. I took my hands totally off of it. She said, is it okay to call men if they give you their numbers on the dating website? Recently, I called the first time. Then after they don't call back, am I attracting liars? Any suggestions? I mean, they might have just found somebody else they like. But I definitely wouldn't call.
Yeah, one of the things you do have to realize is God gave everybody free will.
Yeah.
And as hard as it might be to accept this, know that even when you see somebody that is attractive to you in the beginning and you want to get to know them better, doesn't mean that they feel the same way about you. And it's no disrespect to you. It's not even anything that you did wrong. It's just that person also has free will. And so Jill said a long time ago that you have to start praying for the person God has for you. Not that you're praying that person is yours, like I want Bill or Mary to be mine. It's that you're praying that God, whomever you have for me, whatever's holding them up, whatever binding them, whatever, they're going through, bring them through it. Bring them through it healthy. Bring them through it safely. Bring them through, pray for them, because at the end of the day, you want what God has for you. And a lot of times we still try to put our 2 cents in. Well, God needs my help. God needs my help. Well, if you feel God needs your help to bring you whom he already has for you, knowing that he knows the beginning and the end, first, you're wrong. But if there's something you could do, Why not pray for them?
Yeah. Yeah, you'd be surprised at what your future spouse is going through that you have no idea. And so we're kicking and screaming and crying and hollering about what we don't have and why it's not coming. And the focus should be on, I'm good, Lord. You have blessed me more than enough. Whatever's going on in his or her life. I do want to say this is a good question right here. Antoine said, if me and my person is dealing with a lot of spiritual warfare, is that a sign that it's meant to be? Nope. The word of God says, try the spirit by the spirit. If there is spiritual warfare, is it spiritual warfare where the two of you are against each other, or is it spiritual warfare against the two of you? There's a difference. And so you've got to know, you got to know the spirit that's warring after you. Because if it's a spiritual warfare where, she's cheating on you or you cheating on her and y'all have, you have an infidelity problem, then
But
that's you two against each other.
Yeah, and in conjunction to that, understand this too. A lot of times, where you're being attacked,
that part
is very critical
to
where
the assignment is.
To where your assignment is, right? And it's also critical because if the enemy is attacking you in that area, in his mind, he's defeated you in that area before. And the enemy is really good about saying, I'm going to keep attacking the same way I've always done it because I got them, I beat them, or I got the advantage before.
Right.
So you have to be able to overcome that. Y'all have to be able to overcome that. So it's not just the fact that you're being spiritually attacked. You need to look at what area of your life that the enemy is attacking y'all.
Yes, that's a good point.
And
yes,
you need to understand that.
So if it's the attack is coming against the two of you, you're on the same team and it's coming against the two of you, then that's probably the area. Hone in on that area. Because if it's finances or whatever, whatever that area is, really take note of that area, because that's the area one or two things are happening. Well, your assignment is probably in that area somewhere. And so the enemy is trying to take you out before. So a lot of times it could be sex, it could be finances, whatever the area is.
It could be communication.
It could be communication. This person says, how can you stop being brokenhearted after divorce? She said, I do read my Bible, but I can't past being brokenhearted. There's a soul tie. And
you got to stop speaking negatively into your own future. Stop saying what you can't do.
Yeah. Carmi says, how long did I pray for Terrence after I had the dream? So I had the dream. I came across Terrence in 2018, the summer of 2018 on a dating site. The fall of 2018, I had the dream. I briefly talked to him that next January, a couple of months later. We didn't officially reconnect until that next November.
Veterans Day.
Yeah. So a little over a year with him not knowing. A little over a year. But even well after we started talking, I continue to pray for him. She said, I recently chatted with a guy that seemed interested. He said, take my number down. I thought that showed his level of interest, since instead he didn't ask for my number. Am I in my own way?
Not necessarily.
That's
what I would do, and I don't know about other guys, but when it comes to this, but what I would do sometimes is give a woman my number so she wouldn't feel obligated to give me hers. That way I said, if you feel safe, call me. If you don't want to hear from me again, then don't.
If you
call
don't want me to have
'cause
your
I
number,
gave you my
I
number
gave you, right.
just so I can make sure you felt comfortable of us communicating next or that next step. So you it's hard to say. I don't know that dude, but I would do that, or I have done that in the past. Put it that way.
This person said, I have a coworker that is trying to be a matchmaker. He said, give him 3 months and I'm going to be married. He only been working with me for 3 weeks. God sent or sent by someone else. You don't know how God gonna work, but you also got to know the tricks and schemes and plans of the enemy. So try the spirit by the spirit.
So everything we're sharing with y'all is going to be the same advice. See what the word says.
Yeah.
Go back and speak to God. Listen for the Holy Spirit. All of these things we're going to tell you all day.
At the end of the day, tune up your spiritual ears because it's going to tell you everything you need to know about a person, about a situation, whether it's like the guy says, spiritual warfare. You'll know if it's against us or if it's us against each other. It'll start to be revealed. Pray and fast. When you fast, what happens is that it suspends the flesh. So whenever your flesh is suspended, of course, it kind of removes you out the way so that you can hear in the spirit realm. And so, or you can hear clearer. The distractions are leaving because a lot of times it's our flesh. I'm hungry and I'm this and this. That's, being played in our subconscious that's telling us to tune out the voice of the Lord. But fasting, be careful of what you speak because what you're speaking is also causing havoc in your life. Be very careful of what you speak. Be careful who you listen to and what you listen to, because that is causing distractions, so you won't be able to hear.
Be careful who you come in agreement with.
Be careful,
even if it's something as little as going,
right.
That's still agreement. Be careful who you become in agreement with.
Carmi, we gave the testimony in the private group. We gave the testimony about how we got the home in the private group. Yes, Janice, I pray for him. I pray for Terrence as a person because the dream, the dream I had of him was that he was in darkness, that he was dealing with something. And so when I woke up, I immediately knew. And then in the dream, if y'all remember the dream, I covered him with cover, which meant I covered him with prayer. And also somebody had revealed a couple of weeks ago, because in the dream also was a safety pin that was in the bed window. So didn't know it back then, but somebody revealed it a couple of months ago here. The safety pin represented praying for his safety. And so I was just praying for his well-being. Something that the Lord was telling me that he was going through a dark time. He was going through a very dark time. I didn't know what it was. It wasn't my business to know what it was. And first of all, we didn't have any communication, but I was praying for this guy because one of the things about me is I have a passion for men. Like I have a heart for, especially Black men. I have a heart for men, and which is one of the reasons why I really took to my nephew, because I do have that heart for men. And so when the Lord brought Terrence in my dreams, I was like, okay, well, maybe this is the reason why I came across this guy on this dating site, only to pray for him. Like I'm that person when I go through social media and it'd be like, this child is missing, this child is missing, this child is missing. I stop, I call that person's name out in prayer. Lord, wherever they are, like I pray for that person, because prayer changes things, I believe. And so yeah, that I pray for him as a person, not, for.
Yeah, we do the same thing. If we're driving down the road and see the police with somebody pulled over or an accident or something, we pray for them immediately as we're driving down the road.
Telephone mean communication, mean opening your ears. Fasting. When I fast, like fasting, no food. Like if I can't do a dry fast, it'll only be water. But most times when I fast, it is dry. No food, no social media, no
I
nothing.
prefer a dry fast.
We do dry fast. Yeah. Yeah, she, the person, well, she said, I've been asking God about a man, but I feel like he's been silent. I'm not sure what that means. Sometimes, and this is the other thing, sometimes, especially for women, you don't always need to know what things mean. You don't always need to know everything. Sometimes it's just about obedience. Just pray for the guy. You don't know what he's going through. It's really not your business what he's going through. Just, if God laid it on your heart, pray for him and, keep him in prayer. This is live. This is live. So yeah, a lot of times we want to know everything, and I'm guilty of it, because what happened is that that year, that those 11 months, that between the time that I had initially talked to Terrence in that brief conversation and the time he came back into my DM, so that 11-month period was weird. That 11-month period, I was getting all kind of signs, like it could be, this man could be your husband. And for me, I was more like, show me the sign that he ain't. Give me the proof. And God never did that. He never, and I wanted to know so bad that I was leaning more so that I could just cancel him out. I just wanted just to check him off the list. Tell me, Lord, that he's not. Give me a sign that he's not, and he never did. And sometimes it's just, you got to just walk by faith. You just got to walk it out by faith. A lot of times you're not going to know. You're just not. You just got to move by faith.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, definitely heard about the Jezebel spirit. Yeah, and that's the thing. We had a couple of videos about when, if you believe that the Lord showed you the person, a lot of times when the Lord shows you a person and you believe that it could be your spouse, when the Lord shows you in advance, a lot of times it's because it's something he's trying to do in you to prepare you for that person, to prepare you to be the spouse for that particular person. So for me, the Lord showed me Terrence, and I'm thinking, well, whenever he ready, if he the one, he gonna come. If not, Lord, show me that it ain't him. And the whole time the Lord is saying, but I'm developing patience in you. I'm pruning you. I'm dealing with you because you're the one that needs the work. You're praying for him, but yeah, I'm also working on you. Oh, yeah, Ely, that's the oil diffuser. It's the oil diffuser. It's over there. Yeah, so all right,
Yeah,
y'all.
your blessing is right on the other side of obedience.
It is.
So,
it is.
A lot of times, stop asking for more and more answers. God showed me signs of this, and then something happens and he shows it, and then you say, well, can you show me that it's actually you? And it's like, how much proof do you want?
Yeah, because when he shows, if he shows you something, you don't need faith.
They and I would say this too.
Oh, Terrence, say what you hesitated to.
Say that again.
Minister Missy said, Terrence, say what you hesitated to. You hesitated?
I probably didn't want to interrupt you.
Oh.
But yeah, don't we've had people before that will say, I asked God to give me a sign. and then they felt like God gave them the sign. Then they'd reach out to us and say, what does that mean? Do you think that's really a sign? And we're like, so now you don't trust God. You don't trust God, but you want us to tell you.
Right.
No, look, you need to get your relationship with God right.
Yeah.
Understand what his voice sounds like to you,
right.
Not to anybody else,
How
but
he
to
speaks
you.
to you.
And when the Holy Spirit tells you to do something, stop asking questions about why, when, just do it and see what happens.
Yeah. And again, we say this before, it feels like peace. Lean towards peace. Wherever peace is, that's the direction you want to lean into. So going back to Antoine's question about the spiritual warfare, does being with that person, is it peaceful with her?
In the midst.
Does it feel like peace with that person?
In the midst
of the warfare. Yes. Do you feel like peace with that? Matter of fact, we actually have that title. And it's a video that's coming out for men in the next few days. But yeah, lean towards wherever it feels like peace and rest there. Rest there. Oh, wow. Yeah, the Lord will definitely start giving you some, don't manipulate the process. Let God do his thing. You don't, it just fall back.
Yeah.
Yeah, fall back.
We said before that resting in God is two things. One, you're going to trust him no matter what.
No matter what the outcome is.
No matter what, you trust him. And the other thing is, we always said this, you're going to be at peace.
You're going to be at peace.
Why? Because you're not worried.
You're not worried.
You trust him either way. You trust him.
You, Lord.
It ain't about what his decision is. It's about the fact that you just trust him enough to where you don't care what the answer is. You trust him. You know he's got your best interest and he's got you covered.
You feel confused because you put yourself on it. She said she thought God should show her a person.
And then look, and just to add to what I just said, I heard someone say this before, and I'm going to repeat it because I believe it. And that is this. Stop putting your trust and your faith in the person that you're waiting for. Put it in God.
Yeah.
That way you can stop saying, I met this person and they broke my heart. I met this person, they let me down. I met this person, they played games. I met this person, and I'm confused. No, put your trust in God. Stop putting it in the person. Because you don't know when God is going to introduce you, and then who's going to introduce you to.
That's the thing. And we did a video on this too. Like a lot of times, the biggest takeaway from tonight, loving out loud. But the biggest takeaway is you got to know the voice of the Lord, because you can meet somebody and it could look all good, checklist everywhere, and it could be a counterfeit, and you can believe that God showed you this person as your husband. If you know the voice of the Lord, even if 100 things were checked off your checklist and 101 thing, the 101 thing came and it's off, you will feel it in your spirit. Everything looks great, but it's something in my spirit that this does not feel right. Don't ignore that. That's the Lord speaking. And so when you become comfortable with hearing the voice of the Lord, just like when I came across Terrence, the human part of me was so eager that I jumped in his DM. The Lord did this, and I took my hands off of it. But I was obedient enough, even though it quote unquote hurt my pride, I was obedient enough to continue to pray for this guy. I didn't contact him no more. I just prayed for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, my prayer was, Lord, I've interfered enough. I've done what I could do. If it's meant for me to be with somebody, I trust you to show me who that person is. And if it's just meant to be me and you, Lord, then it's just gonna be me and you. But I trust you. And it felt like this this great peace just came upon me. And I didn't have a worry in the world. And the Holy Spirit said, that woman's got your rib. You need to go get it.
Sometimes the Lord reveals one person and not the other. The one person in advance is because he is doing something. He's showing you, but let me put it in a human way. So if the Lord shows you a beautiful mansion across the street, he said, that's yours. I'm showing you a beautiful mansion across the street. It is yours. All you got to do is sit back and it's mine. God said it's mine. I'm just going to sit back. But the Lord may showed you that to show you the direction you need to walk in, how you need to learn how to walk, how you need to learn how to watch out for the cars on the street. It could be a number of reasons, but he does not just show you just so you can sit back and do nothing. He shows you for a reason.
A lot of times he's showing you because he has something he needs to do in you first. And he needs you to understand, I've already showed you I got somebody for you. So trust me, because I've already showed you. But now I need you to focus here.
So good point, Nadia. So just be still. Yes, be still in the Lord. Being still means be directly focused on what the Lord is showing you and telling you, and be still and confident. Yes. Lord, whatever you tell me to do, however you want me to get over there to that mansion, however you want to do it, I'm being still in you. I'm listening. I'm all ears. And I will tell you this before we get off of here. When you meet your person, you'll know. Why you'll know? Because it'll be a peace that you have never felt before. You don't have to, it won't be confusing. It won't be, even if in the physical realm, it looks like, he didn't call, or why didn't he call? And why didn't he ask for my mouth? It'll be peace. It'll be total peace. Total peace. Mm-hmm. It won't be, you don't have to second guess. You don't have to wonder. You don't have to, none of that.
It ain't going to make sense in the
natural
realm. It's not going to make sense.
It might not make sense. But you'll be at peace. In the spiritual realm,
you're going to be at so much peace.
Yep.
You're going to be like, wow.
And I got to say this before we get off, because I know we got to jump off. So I think it's the video that's coming out Thursday. I don't know when, I don't know. Maybe I had said it in a private group. I don't know. But I mentioned that in 1996, there was an influx of marriages, of weddings. And it was so many weddings that we went to. Well, I went to in 96, including one of my sisters. But I remember that summer, like 4 or 5 of my cousins got married. It was an influx of marriages in 96. Well, going down my timeline, I'm seeing all of these 30th wedding anniversaries. 30th wedding anniversaries. It's our 30th wedding. I was like, oh my God, because it was in 96 that there was an influx of marriage, like people that I don't even know. Going down my timeline on social media, all my platforms, people are saying they're celebrating their 30th. And I say that to say it's the same thing that's happening in 2026. When I say love is dropping like this.
I told y'all.
You did. Terrence prophesied that a couple of months ago. When I say, so make sure you are in tune. All of that kick, screaming, and hollering, you ain't got time for that no more. You don't delay. Don't keep delaying.
Locked in.
Don't keep delaying because you are temper tantrum, because you can't control the narrative, or because you're holding on to something from the past. No. No, and as many of you all can attest, there are love stories that are happening that seemed impossible.
Yeah.
People are making bold moves and saying, I've been watching you from afar for a year or two, and I'm going in. I'm making my move. So I don't know who that's for, but it is 2026. It is definitely love is dropping, just like it was in 30 years ago. So, whew.
It's all
All
about
right.
what you believe.
Yeah. If you believe it, catch it, receive it.
The word says you have to believe that he exists.
And that he's a rewarder of those who diligently seek. Yep.
Can a 62-year-old still have hope?
I don't know. Can you?
See, that's something you have to answer
That's
for yourself.
It's an internal
because
thing.
the answer is correct for you.
Yes.
You have to know that for yourself.
You got to know that for yourself. You got to know that for yourself.
Again, what's in your heart?
Know if it's the counterfeit. See, yeah, it's a loaded question. All right, y'all. You got something else to say?
Look,
I
appreciate you guys for spending this evening with us.
Yes.
We look so forward to seeing you guys in our next video.
Yes. Private group meets next Tuesday.
Yeah.
Yep. All right.
Peace.
Peace, y'all.